god, okay, hello. So I'm finally making a sketchbook tour video. This is my sketchbook from the beginning of the year. So I actually started this in January and then I finished it in April. So I actually finished this one really fast, but that was only because I had a philosophy class and we had to like make one change in our life. So the change I made was that I was gonna fill up a sketchbook page every day and see how that impacted my like well-being or whatnot. Not this is my like philosophy like final project. So that's why I finished this so fast, is I literally like drew every day for like 2 months straight. Anyways, if anyone's wondering where I got these stickers from, I don't know, because my girlfriend was accidentally sent these because they messed up her order, so we have no idea where they came from. And I think, well, that one's obviously from Trader Joe's, but if anyone knows whose designs these are, let me know. But this is my second sketchbook I've ever finished, and yeah, we can get right into it. So like, I never like to fill in the first page because I always feel so pressured that the first page has to be perfect, so it's usually like empty. Little Gideon and Harrow right there. And then I love like sketchbook pages that look very full, so I always try to fill in as much space as possible. So I have like random limbs, I have like just a bunch of faces everywhere. But yeah, so just a warning, there is going to be artistic nudity throughout this because I do like anatomy studies, so if you're like squeamish to that, I'll put like a little warning right before it shows up, but just a little heads up. So these are all drawings of my like joint OC. My girlfriend and I are writing this fantasy novel together about like a knight and like the lady she's sworn to serve. And there's obviously like, it's fantasy, there's epics, lady knights, like what else do you need? Some more anatomy studies. I'd like to do a lot of my anatomy studies out of the book Morpho Anatomy for Artists. I feel like it really simplifies stuff down. This was like me planning out a piece for my illustration class, and I think it was like the song Hosier's song Sunlight, and I was like personifying it, so it's like Icarus melting as he's kissing whatever. And then I have a like, you don't expect it because like I feel like a lot of artists always show their best pages, but I have a lot of these like crappy pages where I'm like trying something new and it did not work out. So I think this was like a brush pen or something like that, and I could not make it work. More anatomy, more legs. So this is when I started my philosophy project, so my daily doodles. So I would fill in one whole page every day for like 2 months straight and see how I felt about it. Long story short, I sort of burnt out a little bit, but it was fun. I enjoyed having like designated time for me just to create art for myself, because as you'll notice as I keep going, a lot of these like daily doodle pages are always my OCs. So this is more of Arynn and Carmen, the fantasy OCs from the story Violent Nights that I'm writing with my girlfriend. Yeah, 2 very hot women. One is a knight, one is the lady she's like sworn to protect. There's like more information about them on my account just because I like to draw them so often. But yeah, I don't like having any empty space in my spreads at all. So they're all very full. There's more of Carmen and Arynn. I was playing around with Prismacolor pencils because I have them. Yeah, seen here, I was doing like anatomy studies, and I think I was referencing underwear models for this. And I was like, I have all these Prismacolor pencils, might as well like play around with them. But I didn't really stick. I only did it for that and didn't really use it anymore. And then these are just some thumbnails for the audio on TikTok that I was trying. That's like, kings have honor, soldiers have bravery, poets have heart, all I have is rage. And I wanted to do it with like the characters in Violent Nights. And I wanted to do it traditionally instead of digitally, just because I was in such like a traditional kick at this point. But I never finished it. So, LOL, I'll get to you one day. More legs. I was really trying to figure out legs. And then this is my girlfriend. Yeah. Sometimes I just like to doodle my girlfriend, and then that's a doodle of me, and then there's more of my OCs, and literally just filling in like every imaginable empty space so that the page looks full. More anatomy. I think this day I was just like not having it. Like I was so tired, so like I did like the crappiest like doodles ever, and like this page is very full because I was like, I just need to get something done for this project. I think I was looking at a photo on Pinterest for this. I remember drawing it like on campus because last term I had class from like 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m. More doodles, some studies, classical studies in here, a girl texting, more Carmen. And then I have some notes in here from my life drawing class, just because I would bring this sketchbook with me everywhere. And then just like practicing, like laying out, thumbnailing out my piece before I actually drew it from like my life drawing class with the model. Some more doodles. Yeah, I like to draw hands a lot to fill in the empty space. I feel like I study anatomy a lot just to fill in space, but it's good because like anatomy is a very important thing to study. This page, I actually did a lot of drawings from a flea market that my girlfriend and I went to. So that's me, that's her. It's me like looking at stuff. That's her like not yelling at me, but like she's making a funny face at me. And then I actually ended up buying this like really cool vintage like easel, which I use to paint now. And then here's more, that's us kissing. This is more OC stuff, and I was playing with like forced perspective here, but I don't really like how it came out, so I tried to like fill in as much space as possible so that you don't really like notice it. But I mean, like, that's the beauty of a sketchbook, is that you're supposed to trial and error, experience, like, try new things. But I love this spread so much. I feel like the portraits came out really nice. And it's like, these are all characters from the story Violent Nights. So we have the main characters, Carmen and Arynn. We have, like, the father figure, the DILF, Theo. And then we have, like, the Twisted Royalty antagonists. And these are just some, like, side characters that are allied with our main characters, but they're like the maids, or like they work within the manor. And I just really liked exploring the designs, because at this point we had actually done like a big visual redesign of the characters, because we wanted to integrate more of our culture, and we're both like Eastern Asian and Southern Asian, so we wanted to integrate that into the designs rather than having like your generic like European looking fantasy. More doodles of more characters. So this whole page is a page of all like antagonists that are in the story. And these are more side characters. That's a MILF, and that's a DILF. And that's a slut. But I absolutely love doing portraits, and I love like doing faces and like drawing, especially like older people, because there's so much in their face, and like the smile lines and the wrinkles, like it just tells so much about a person, and I love drawing it, and there's so much detail to that. More of my OCs, that's a pair. So we have Carmen being a badass, and I love integrating like little quotes or like words into my stuff. Like later you'll see I start integrating like lyrics in it, and then just some dialogue between them. Like Carmen is very much like morally gray, and like Arynn is very like lawful good, so they obviously have like conflict with each other, but they have to trust each other lest like their enemies get the upper hand. So I really love like playing with their dynamic and seeing how it develops like over time. Like I think I have some developmental sketches of them like interacting with each other. That's her dad. That's Carmen's dad, and this is Carmen like in the future, because I've like designed them for like when the story starts, kind of like what they look like in the middle, and like at the resolution, because I feel like visually what they look like reflects the arcs that they go through with the story. But yeah, just more doodles of them, more figure drawing notes, and then studies, more characters. This was trying to figure out like Arynn's parents, what they would look like, because they actually don't exist in the story, because Arynn is an orphan, so I wanted to like just design them just for reference, even though they won't actually like show up. More drawings, dismembered like arms, random eyes, them like helping each other out. Like there's a like the gay trope of like someone's injured and like the other person's like, let me help you, and it's like, ee! You know, like that's what that's like trying to get at. And this one is just a page of like exploration of Arynn and like what she ends up, but like what she started at, and like a lot of the conflicts she feels, because there's also a lot of themes of like religious trauma and breaking away from like religion as an institution. And it's like she's very much a religious person, whereas Carmen is not. So obviously that's another conflict they have within each other. So she feels like my hands are stained, like where's your redemption? What are you willing to lose? Like sinful deeds. And like they very much do have like allusions to like religion and stuff like that. So that was just me kind of exploring her in this big like study in the middle. And this one I love. It was when the audio from How to Train Your Dragons was trending, and it's like the dancing and the dreaming audio, and I love it. I wanted to like make a little animatic of them to it, but I don't have the energy to make animatics anymore, so I just did like a little drawing of them dancing while they have some like downtime and like exploring different ways to design their outfits. And I love the movement of this. Like I really love this doodle right here. More drawings of them, like do not stray far from me. Like okay, little gay asses, like them older and like being together. And then Arynn actually like she's the horse girl of the relationship. Like there's always one in a fantasy story, and I was like, I should learn how to draw a horse. Then I tried drawing a horse and I was like, that is a really funny looking horse. And yeah, I just like to do little doodles of like objects too, to like fill in the space, or like these like abstract, these are flowers but they don't look like flowers, they're just little scribbles, but I'm like, they're flowers and they fill in the space for me. More figure drawing notes, a page of Carmen stuff, and she's very much morally gray. She's like, I will do anything to tear down your entire empire and like the hate that you have spread. So like girl boss. And then also I think Hosier released like new songs, so I was like, all things in. Oh my god, I love this page. It's oh my god, I'm not gonna know how to say it. Phyllis and Demo Foon by Waterhouse. It's a famous painting, and I had just redrawn them as it, so I really loved it. I think it's beautiful, and I really like how this came out with like the hatching and like how fleshy it looks almost, and the folds. I feel like I did a really good job with this. And then a poem that my friend wrote about them I just put to fill in this empty space, because I didn't want to put more doodles on this page, just because I was like, I want this drawing to be like the focal point. And then I tried to carry on that like, oh, being able to like redraw classical art, and like it didn't work. Like this definitely doesn't have the same care as this, because I was rushing this. So I don't really like these ones, but this one, love, this one is really good. And I actually did end up turning this into like a digital drawing. Like I took a photo of my lines and popped it into Procreate to color. Skip those ones. And then here's them in like the later arc in the story, when like Arynn kind of accepts her femininity after having like repressed it for so long, and Carmen is able to express her like gender ambiguity. I probably said that wrong. And it's like now they're like happy and in love with each other, but obviously, you know, they can't escape the past. Like trauma. I love giving my characters trauma. And then here's just them older, they're dancing at a festival, they're enjoying life, and I drew this on the back of like an art supply warehouse like folder, I think. And these are just like thumbnails for environments. Like this is kind of like a town, some nature stuff, little cottage. I don't know if I was going to do anything with those, TBH. More notes. More Carmen and Arynn. This is just like scenes with them, like sneaking out. How would they look? What would they talk like? Her being a powerhouse, a tank. And there's the page of hands. But here's them, me kind of experimenting with like what they would argue about. And it's like Arynn is willing to be with Carmen and has dedicated her life, like sworn her life to her as a knight, but she is like, when will this suffering end? Like, you're just like fighting violence with violence, and you guys are just gonna take each other like eye for an eye, like for how long? And then this is just like later on in the story. I'm not gonna reveal like the plot point, because like it's a very integral, but she goes through something, and this is like her when she's like really old, like when Carmen's really old, she's like a grandma, and she's like reminiscing. And then this is just a page of thumbnails. They're kind of crappy. More figure drawing notes, a Carmen and Arynn drawing that I was like referencing from a photo on Pinterest, but I like messed up their faces on this, and like the proportions for like the head compared to the body is like really off, so I don't really like this drawing at all. Here's just them chilling. Again, more hands and just random squiggles and like magic or whatever to fill in the space. And then I was doing some live drawing at like a restaurant. I'm trying to get better at life drawing like in public, just because like people move around so fast, and like I always like don't feel like I have enough time to capture their likeness, but I kind of want to get better at like drawing in public like that. And then over spring break, I think I had taken a trip with my family down to Seaport Village. So this is just drawing like the boats, the like highway that goes over this ocean, some of the buildings there, just some silhouettes of people who were there, and silhouettes of the city, and this is like a boat that I saw on the ocean. And then I was trying to draw people from life again, but I'm kind of crap at it, and people move around so fast, so this page is like awful, and I like abandoned it like immediately. Anyways, back to the good stuff. So here is more Carmen and Arynn. Arynn like let me see the wound, like trying to help her out. Her as she's getting older, and then obviously like Crane Wives quote down here, and then oh, there's nothing under here. This is just like a little doodle I did on a sticky note and just slapped it in here. And this is me in my like collage era where I was like drawing on these other pieces of paper, and I was like, oh my god, I can like tape it into my sketchbook, which is what I did. But yeah, I was playing with pen here because I usually don't do pen because I don't like not being able to erase. But I was kind of experimenting with it, and I think it came out nice. I really like this page. I feel like I like the way pen and ink look, but I hate how like I have to be very careful about it. I can't be very sketchy and messy with it. More like definitely leaning into like their religious illusions. And then this is a little poem I wrote, and then this is a drawing I did of them when they're older. More drawings of them, and Arynn is always like, is this safe? Like, are we allowed to do this? Like, questioning Carmen's like just a little bit, and Carmen's like, it's fine, like just like chill, y'all, like it's not that bad. And then this is like some stamp design since I had wanted to get into like, I think it's block carving or like lino cut carving, so some like designs to work on, but I don't think I ever proceeded with it. And then I love this. I love this page in general. Like I feel like I was really leaning into that feeling of like religious art and like how they feel, and like the hands look amazing. And this is a thumbnail for this drawing. Oh, I did carve a eraser and then like put ink on it, so I made this little eyeball stamp thing. But this is the drawing that was based on this thumbnail. I was just kind of planning out where I wanted the bodies to sit. God's favorite sinner. More notes on anatomy this time. Then more with like the hands over the face, and then I made another stamp on the other side of the eraser. And then this is just like planning out like a probable like tarot card with Carmen and Arynn. And then here's just like some of them kissing, being gay, and like them going to like a gala, and Arynn's like not used to dressing fancy whatsoever, but also like her arm is really messed up here, and like Carmen's supposed to be like holding her arm, so like just ignore the arm, and they're actually just standing next to each other. Some of these pages don't work out for me. Like I'll start something and I'm like, this looks like crap, and then I'll start something else and I'm like, this also looks like crap, so I just like won't fill the pages. I'll be like, I'm not gonna fight myself on trying to make this look nice and like wrestle with it. This is a page that my girlfriend and I did. So she drew this. So we have the book laying out like this, and we're sitting across from each other. So she drew me and like my hand, and then like this dog that we saw because we're in a coffee shop, and then I just did a bunch of doodles of her from life. So we're just sitting there drinking our coffee. More figure drawing stuff. This was me planning out thumbnails for the piece that we were doing, drawing some of my classmates, and then this is just more notes. And I think around here is like when I started like losing steam, because like my pages are a little more empty, but like I love playing with like hatching on these characters. More anatomy, studying out of Morpho Anatomy for Artists. Really trying to nail down and like understand it conceptually, because if you understand like what it is, like understand how like the bodies connect and how bodies move, you're able to like build them from imagination rather than like relying entirely on a reference. More anatomy, but I like labeled it because in my figure drawing class, my professor was like asking us like, what is this on a model, and I couldn't like name all the things, so I felt like really embarrassed. So I went and like did all these, like drew these studies and then labeled each like muscle so that wouldn't happen again. Some more doodles. I'm definitely like losing steam at this point. Things aren't very full. I don't really like have much inspiration on what to draw. A lot of like angel wings and trying to get like this magic feel, but like my pages are very empty at this point. This one's nice though. I took this piece of like collage paper from my girlfriend and then like created Mars quote, kind of playing around with her and like realization and like judgment, and just trying to fill in the space, but it wasn't like working the way I wanted it to work. And that's just like a random blank and yank doodle. I don't know what they're doing here. And then this was actually my oil painting final. So I was kind of like thumbnailing out the characters and I wanted like this classical art feel. So this is what I ended up going with. So it's a Hades and Persephone, but make it sapphic, and it's like Hades holding Persephone. This like Hades Biden. We have like the darkness, helm of darkness, and they're like standing in a river, and she's got like the pomegranate seeds, and I like did a little doodle of like both of them just to figure out what they looked like before I started painting. And then I wanted Persephone to be very warm toned, lively, flowers in her hair, and then I wanted like Hades to be like goth, like pale skin, looks kind of dead, very like bluish, so like we have that warm and the cool tone kind of balancing each other out. But yeah, I'll put like a photo of my final painting because it did change a little bit from the thumbnail, but it came out really nice. I really liked it. And that's the end of my sketchbook. So this is one of 2 sketchbooks that I have for this year, but I'll probably make another video with my other sketchbook once I finish it. But yeah, thank you guys for so much for your support, for like staying, if you're here still watching this video, like thank you so much. I can't believe like I made it to 30,000 followers on Instagram this year. Like it's not something I had expected at all. And I really hope to bring back my YouTube channel and do more of these like sketchbook tour videos or like sketch with me videos, because I really do love sketching, and I think it's very important for artists to have like healthy sketching habits and to like be okay with like your sketchbook not looking perfect. Like I have like crap pages in here, and like that's the point of a sketchbook, is just to like experiment and be loose with it. But yeah, that's all. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.